Wow, you were the first one to do all the exercises, I think, in the group. I don't know whether the others will do the homework or not. I don't know. The questions were easy, right, Yasmin ma'am, except for a few.
Yes
A
sir.
few were a little confusing, you know.
Yes.
Both the
एक
options are okay.
एक था ना सर, मेनी चेयर्स, उसमें थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन लग रही थी मुझे।
Mm.
हम्म। अब बाकी तो मुझे ठीक ही लग रहा था।
Yeah. Hello, Saurav. You were being very philosophical in the group, man.
I know, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
सर वो चेक कर लिए हैं सर, सही है कि?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, please talk in English. Come on, you don't want to use Hindi. All right.
अच्छा,
I have checked your answers.
चेक sentences
Yes, I have
whether it
checked.
is wrong or
Yeah,
right.
they're all correct. They're all correct. Hello,
Now,
Diana.
now I'll
Good
be regular,
afternoon.
sir.
You're free now, Saurav.
Yes, because my exam is going to be start from 14th of
Going to
December.
start, not be start, going to
Oh,
start.
going to start the 14th of December.
Mm. Ravi, I don't know why you missed the grammar class on Sunday. I mean, yesterday. Sunday was yesterday? Yeah. At 3 o'clock. We learned some really important things. The use of little, a little, few, a few. It was cool, I think.
Look, this is my Christmas tree.
Oh, nice, nice. Isn't it a little too small?
Yes.
Didn't have much time to
मुझे
take a
कनाडा
picture
में
one,
जाना है।
right? Okay, Diana, tell us a little bit about your experience of or with that what is that? Santa Claus. So when you were a kid, did you look forward to the gifts from Santa Claus?
Yes. In Friday, in my country was State Nicholas.
Mm-hmm. Saint Nicholas, yes.
Yeah. And my son had a gift present.
Mm-hmm.
It was toys.
You gave him
Uh,
toys.
yeah.
But when you were a kid, when you were a small baby, okay, when you were 4 or 5 years old, okay, did you look
Yeah.
forward to, Santa Claus and gifts and all that? You know, parents buy the
Yeah.
gifts. They say Santa Claus left the gift for you.
Yes. I now it was my mother, but it was a very fantastic time.
I would like to ask, how old were you when you figured out that it was your mom, not Santa Claus? How old were you when you realized that?
Uh, I I don't remember.
But I don't know. I mean, yeah, but as a child, there are a few things that you really enjoy being when you are a child. You believe in those things and it feels so good. And you grow up and you know, oh, that's not true, you know, and it's not very nice to know those things are not true. Anybody, any memories of your childhood that you didn't want to change, but they had to change because you grew up, like something that you believe that you couldn't believe anymore when you grew up? Anybody? You know what I'm talking about? Like Santa Claus. Like Diana, as a kid, she thought Santa Claus was real, but then she grew up and she thought, oh, it's mommy and papa who keep the gifts there, not Santa Claus. So what about you guys? Was there anything that you guys, thought was right and then, true or something, and then you grew up and you, oh, that's not true. Like I guess one thing that all of you would agree with is when you guys were kids, you thought your papa was a very strong man, right? Physically, he would take on anybody, he would be able to fight anybody. This is how young kids feel about their dads. And then you grow up and then you start, you're like, oh, papa is not so strong. There are people who are stronger than papa as well, right? Would you agree that you had that feeling too? I definitely remember having this thought. My father used to have biceps, you know. So when I was young, he had really nice big biceps, and sometimes I would hang on one of his biceps, and my brother would hang on the other. And we thought that my papa was really strong, you know, and nobody could fight with my father. He was so strong, I believed as a kid. And I used to
Good
I
evening,
used
sir.
to I used to kind of I used to tease my cousins, you know, your father is not as strong as my father is. You know, I used to make comments like this. My father, if you know, hits your father, he will fall 10 feet away. I used to engage in that kind of conversation. I was really childish, okay, no doubt. And then, you know, I grew up, I became sensible, and I realized that, okay, not really. My father isn't the strongest man in the world. Okay. So yeah, that's one thing that I guess most children feel when they're small, and then they grow up to realize, and it's not a nice feeling to know, but you can't help it. So Arish, Khushi, Smita, welcome. Imrana, guys,
Good
okay,
evening, sir.
good evening. Arish,
Good
why
evening,
is
sir.
the camera off?
Good evening, sir.
Hey Smita, good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hi. So let's begin. I hope everybody has given a little bit of time to that page reading. Okay, let's see. Let's finish this today. Okay, so the British began selling food from street stalls. I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second. Okay, yeah. The British began selling food from street stalls. There we have street stalls today as well, right? Selling street food. Using new foods and recipes the Romans brought with them. Okay, when you have this kind of sentence, some people struggle to understand a sentence like this. And you know why? Take a look. The British began selling food from street stalls. And now, more information using new foods and recipes. Now, what about more information about these foods and recipes? These food and recipes, who brought? The Romans brought with them. Okay, so the British began selling food from street stalls using new foods and recipes the Romans brought with them. The minced meat. Okay, can anyone tell me the part of a speech of the word minced in this place, in this sentence, in this phrase? I want people to use their chat and tell me the part of a speech of the word minced here. Use the chat box and write very quickly what you think of this word minced. Okay, Rukaiya, you got it wrong. Khushi, you got it right. Aisha, you got it wrong. Nabita, that is a little too quick. Read more.
Good
Go
evening, sir.
on. Good evening, Sanita. The minced meat patties with bread and lettuce sound very like our modern hamburgers. Saurav, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. You got it wrong. The minced meat patties, okay? There is the word meat here, isn't it? Meat is a noun everybody knows. And this word doesn't add something about the word meat. So obviously it is a adjective,
Adjective.
right? Arish has
Good
written.
evening, sir.
Okay, so Simran, welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. The minced meat patties. What kind of meat? Minced meat.
Minced
Okay.
meat.
So minced is an adjective, isn't it here? An adjective is a word that describes a noun, says something about it. It is saying something about a noun. The minced meat. What kind of meat? Minced meat. Okay. The minced meat patties with bread and lettuce sound very like our modern hamburgers. Now, what is the use of this word sound here? This is the verb of the sentence. If somebody has to decide the tense of this sentence, every sentence is in a certain tense, right? Clauses. So here, this verb sound is a verb, and it tells you that this is a present simple sentence. Now, I know present simple. You guys will say present simple, I know. Read and tell me, when did you feel that it was a present simple sentence? The minced meat patties with bread and lettuce sound very like our modern hamburgers. So it is a present simple sentence. Here the subject is the minced meat patties with bread and lettuce. By the way, the pronunciation is lettuce. It is not lettuce, it is lettuce. Okay, lettuce. Yes, it is pronounced lettuce. Okay, lettuce. Yeah. So this is why I say, just, yes, Aisha. Yes, Aisha. Yes. Hello. Yeah, man.
मेरा भी कान दुखता है
बेटा अभी रिकॉर्डिंग ये हो रही है, इसको क्या कन्वर्ट करना होता है, कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, भेज देंगे 2 घंटे में. ओके, बाय बाय. Okay, people, tell me, समझ में आ रहा है कुछ? Sound like. Suppose somebody is describing a dish. Okay, Diana, I'm going to describe a dish to you, and you will tell me if it sounds familiar. See, I said you will tell me if it sounds familiar. It means you will tell me whether you know something like this. You cook something like this. Okay, you're familiar with this dish. So we have milk and we have rice. So we heat up the milk and we put the rice into the milk, okay, after washing and cleaning the rice, and we let it boil, and the rice boils in that milk, and then we add some sugar. Does it sound familiar? Do you cook anything like this?
No, I don't cook rice in milk.
Never.
Never.
Okay. This rice is a special rice, Diana, called basmati rice, okay? So you can order it online. If you are living in a big city, maybe you will have it, okay? You can get it easily. And just cow's milk, any dairy milk, heat up the milk, wash that rice a little bit, maybe for 5 minutes, wash it in water, rub it between your hands like this in the water, and throw the water and the soaked rice, put that rice in the milk and let it boil for 10-15 minutes and add some sugar, and the taste and
Sir,
the
please
flavor.
mention the quantity.
Sorry, in my country, I cook rice in milk, but it's milk, a lot of milk. For example, 20 grams rice and
1 liter of milk?
yeah,
1 liter of milk?
rice, eat rice with milk.
Okay, so the rice melts in the milk.
Yeah.
We cook this. Okay, and what is it for? I mean, is it for lunch, breakfast, dinner? What do you have it for? Or is it part of the dessert, something sweet after the meal?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So, what you're saying, we just add a little more rice to it, like 100 grams of rice instead of 20 grams rice in 1 liter of milk, and we call it kheer. It is called kheer in India. Okay. Do you add sugar? Do you add sugar too? A little bit of sugar?
Yeah.
Yep. So it is very much kheer. Okay. What do you call it?
Mm, um, 1 second.
You can tell me
Uh,
the Russian name of this dish. You can tell me the Russian name of this dish. Guys, now listen. If I describe this and if Diana says, it sounds familiar, it means she knows that sounds, okay? It sounds familiar. So when you talk about this here, this sentence here, it says, the minced meat patties with bread and lettuce sound very like our modern hamburgers. Yeah, what is it, Diana?
maybe it's milk. Maybe it's milk rice porridge.
Milk rice porridge. Yeah, I know what you are saying, but what is the Russian name for this? You cook it. Sorry, I'm using Russian. What is the Ukrainian name for this? What do you call it in Ukraine?
Молочна рисова каша.
Oh my goodness, hard for me to
Молочна рисова каша.
Okay.
Hard to pronounce.
Sir, could you please translate in English?
अरे पागल
Sir, online.
अरे पागल लड़का, फिर वही वाली बात। ये क्या होगा? वो नाम थोड़ी बदलना है, जलेबी थोड़ी कुछ और हो जाएगा। गाइस, देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ टीचर्स who are teaching you English of jalebi, English of bachka. अरे पागल आदमी, they are different dishes. Okay, two dishes can sound similar, right? But you don't change the names. That इसका मतलब ये, they are wrong. Come on, names are dishes, so we don't translate them. For example, kadhi is kadhi. Okay, rajma chawal is rajma chawal. A dish. Okay, listen to me. This is one reason why you guys never understood the meaning of dal. आप लोगों ने pulses सुना? Pulses, right? Rice and pulses खाए हम लोगों ने. हम लोग rice और pulses नहीं खाते. Boiled rice या rice and dal.
Pulses is raw.
Exactly, Yasmin ma'am. Yes, yeah, exactly. Dal is the name of the recipe. Or pulses se we can make as well. Sambar is different from dal. So wherever you go, any part of the world, sambar will be sambar. You're not going to translate sambar into another language. They may have a similar recipe in Mexico and in some other countries maybe, but you're not going to translate the name. You call it sambar. If it is cooked in Indian way, it is sambar. Okay. For example, roti and tortilla are very similar, but still different. So it doesn't mean roti will be translated as tortilla, tortilla will be translated as roti. You can say Mexican roti, okay. Tortilla is Mexican roti, and in a roti is Indian tortilla, okay, kinda, all right. So what I'm trying to tell you is develop an understanding instead of just doing that joker's job, Hindi, English, okay? You don't want to do that.
Sir, some people call roti to chapati.
Chapati is not an English word. Roti is an English word. अरे हमारे यहाँ experts एक से एक है ना, दिक्कत ये है जहां कोई चीज की स्थिति खराब हो समझ जाना कि एक्सपर्ट खराब है, ठीक है? बात समझ गई? तो a lot of people will say roti को chapati बोलो इंग्लिश में. अरे chapati is not even an English word. Roti is an English word. I'll show you guys. Give me a second.
Yes, sir. Roti
Hello,
is English.
sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Lucky. We have a lovely class. Only Rasana is not here. Just give me a second. Okay, guys. Look, I am gonna write R-O-T-I. Take a look. Do you see here? Roti. Roti. Okay. Now this word has been accepted because a type of flat, round South Asian bread. This is roti. Okay. Now type chapati here. You will not get anything because they did not accept this word. Okay. Chapati. Maybe have they? Okay. Recently, I didn't know that, but they had the word roti definitely. Maybe recently they added this. I don't know. Chapati is also now used as an English word. Chapati. Chapati. A type of flat, round South Asian bread made without yeast. Yeah. So roti and chapati both have been accepted by Oxford Dictionary into English So whether you say roti or chapati, you can use either of them to refer to roti, but don't use bread. To explain this to other people, you can say it is a type of bread. That is what you can say. Now, calendars. Until a few years ago, if you look it up, you will realize that chapati was not the word there, so they accepted it recently, perhaps. Okay, calendars. We've continued to use the Roman year. We have continued to use the Roman year with 365 days and a leap year every 4 years. We have continued to use the Roman year. Roman calendar we are using now, okay? Where there are 365 days and a leap year every 4 years. The months of July and August are a living reminder. Nice expression. Now I want my dear Aisha, where are you? Aisha, read this sentence, beta. The months of July and August are a living reminder of the Roman emperors Julius and Augustus. Okay, do you see this? Unmute yourself, beta. Read this sentence reading. The months of July and August are a living reminder of the Roman emperors Julius and Augustus. Unmute yourself, yeah. Unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Good. Read this sentence.
The months of July and August are a living reminder of the Roman emperors Julius and Augustus.
Right. Now look at the word living there and tell me the part of a speech of the word living there.
The months, July.
Hmm.
Living reminder, sir.
Yes. Look at the word living and tell me the part of a speech of the word living. It's very easy to understand these things. Trust me, okay? बस एक बार समझ में आने लग जाए फिर आसान है, okay? समझ में आने लग जाए तो it's always easy. कहीं भी कुछ भी हाथ रख दे बता दोगे आप. ठीक है कि ये है. Any idea? Aisha?
Sir,
मैं
can
बताता
I
हूँ.
say?
Who?
Can I say?
Okay, wait for a second. Let Aisha answer and then I will come to you. What do you think, Aisha?
Adjective.
It's an adjective. Why do you think it's an adjective?
Living reminder of the Roman emperors.
हाँ, but you have to explain why it is an adjective. उसका logic क्या है? I can see the phrase.
Action.
Now, I'll explain later. Okay. So, yes, you go
A
ahead.
is mentioned here, sir.
Sorry.
A is mentioned here.
Okay, I'll explain. मेरी बात ही बहुत गौर से समझना आयशा बेटा. कैसे करूंगा ये डिसीजन वो बताता हूँ ताकि तुम भी वैसे ही सोचना अगली बार. Sam, what are you doing? You can't multitask. You're talking to somebody else, smiling at somebody else. Answer the question. What do you think the word living is?
Sir, I also think it's an adjective
It's an adjective. Why do you think it's an adjective?
because there's use a and here reminder is used as a noun.
Well, everybody, well done. Good job. Very well done. Okay, anybody else wants to answer? Smita, Sarav, Vikas, please.
Sir, it's
be
an
on camera.
adjective, sir.
It's an adjective, isn't it? Sunita.
Yeah, it's an adjective
Adjective, sir, I
because
think.
because a reminder is an abstract noun, sir.
A reminder is a noun, okay? A reminder. What kind of reminder? तो जब भी noun के बारे में कोई word add होता है उसके पहले आके बता दे सकता है. A living reminder. A living reminder, okay? A living reminder. Something. अब meaning बात की बात है. पहले adjective हो गया. कैसा reminder? A living reminder. अब मतलब क्या होता है? Living मतलब कि that thing is still there today. Okay? A living proof. A living evidence ऐसे करके बोलते हैं, right? A living proof. मतलब एक proof है जो अभी भी है सामने.
Active
And
or
this
ongoing.
is an abstract, isn't it, sir?
A reminder. Yes, it's an abstract noun because कोई चीज को छुके नहीं बोल सकते reminder है. उसका नाम कुछ और रहेगा. Reminder is just an idea here, right? So reminder
And sir,
is a noun,
living
Aisha beta. Yes, Adish.
Live is a verb to we force are living, but not in this term.
भाई 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 भाई, ये बात बोलना उतना ही बेवकूफी है जितना और कुछ हो सकता है। ये ऑब्वियस है, आईएनजी लगा है तो बी फोर है। राइट दोस्तों? टीचरिंग हो सकता है, टीचरिंग कभी,
Can
टीचरिंग,
you?
टीचरिंग,
नहीं.
because teacher is a noun. You can't add ing to a noun. You can only add an ing to a verb. So living verb है तो obvious है वहां क्या काम कर रहा है। यही इंग्लिश इसी वजह से मुश्किल है लोगों के लिए, क्योंकि उनके दिमाग में ये वर्ब से आगे नहीं जा सकते वो, जब तक इस तरह के क्लासेस ना कर रहे हो। और अगर आप बड़े हो चुके हैं, ठीक है, देर आर सम पीपल हु रीड सेंटेंसेस लाइक दिस एंड दे डोंट हैव टू वरी, दे स्ट्रेट अवे नो, उनको कोई टेंशन लेना नहीं पड़ता, थैंक्स टू देयर चाइल्डहुड एजुकेशन, क्वालिटी एजुकेशन ऑफ इंग्लिश इन देयर चाइल्डहुड। उनको कोई टेंशन है। आई एम प्रीटी श्योर आप सबके कोई कजन्स रिलेटिव्स होंगे जो ऐसे ही पढ़ के बता देंगे, ठीक है आयशा, वो कजन आपके वो ऐसे ही पढ़ के बता देंगे उसका क्या मतलब है, ठीक है बेटा। ही वोंट नीड टू थिंक अबाउट एडजेक्टिव एंड नाउन। बचपन से अगर किसी को अच्छी एजुकेशन मिल जाए ना, तो वो बाईपास कर जाते हैं ग्रामर जानने को। आप में से कितने हिंदी ग्रामर को अच्छे जानते हो? टेल मी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर वेरी गुड एट हिंदी ग्रामर? आर यू कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट योर हिंदी ग्रामर? नो, बट यू आर यूजिंग करेक्ट हिंदी। यू नो व्हाई? बिकॉज यू हैव लर्नड इट द राइट वे। तो इस वजह से नाउ अगर somebody from Kerala, somebody from Tamil Nadu, somebody from Ukraine, somebody from Russia, they want to learn Hindi, they'll have to pay a little attention to the grammar as well. और English में तो ये parts of a speech, they play such an important role. Ever since I started to pay attention to these things, my whole way of looking at English changed. Okay, so the sentence is a living reminder. So एक भले ही आपको मीनिंग ना पता हो, लेकिन एक टाइप का रिमाइंडर, इतना तो आप कह सकते हो। The months of July and August are a living reminder of the Roman emperors Julius and Augustus. So there was an emperor Julius. After his name, a month was named July. There was an emperor called Augustus. After his name, a month was named August. So these 12 months, I don't know. Okay. So about these 2 months, you have some evidence here that there were 2 emperors. After them, these months have been named. And notice I'm saying after them, unke naam pe, after them, these months have been named. So maybe I'm not translating into Hindi, but आपको एहसास हो जाना चाहिए, after them, the months have been named. इनका मतलब उनके नाम पे, okay? Any problems? This country is called Bharat after the King Bharat. After the King Bharat, there was a King Bharat in history long time ago, and after him, this country is called Bharat. Okay, this country. Okay, next. Now, here, exercise 3, exercise 2, exercise 3, we were doing exercise 3, exercise 4 actually. There are 9,600 kilometers of modern roads in Britain. No. There are 9,600 kilometers of Roman roads in Britain. Only 9,600 kilometers of modern roads in Britain. Britain would be worse than an African country. Okay. There are 9,600 kilometers of Roman roads in Britain. The British have never used a global currency. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Khushi, आप भी रहें सामने if you can, all right? And everybody else who is off camera, I would encourage you all to be on camera if you can afford to be, all right? If you can, then please, because listen, ये सब चीजें आपको करनी है एक दूसरे के साथ. I'm going to put you guys in the breakout room. One person will read the sentence, the other one will respond, okay? Okay, Khushi, I understand, no problems. All right. The British have never used a global currency. We all read, they have. In the Roman times, when they were part of the Roman Empire, and the Roman currency was used in Africa. Details में भी बात करिए, okay? ऐसा नहीं कि एक लाइन बोल के छोड़ दो. That's not practice. You want to talk about the whole matter that you read. The British have never used a global currency. Yes, they have. ये हो गया short. And then when Britain was part of the Roman Empire, they used the Roman currency, which was also used in it it was used all over Europe and in some of the North African countries. Okay. There was only one copy of the first Roman newspapers. In a way, yes. Because it was not a newspaper, it was a news stone, and they would place it on in the middle of in a public place somewhere, and people could just go and read. There was only one copy of the first Roman newspapers. Yeah. The Romans needed to wear lots of pairs of socks in their villas. In their villas? The villas were warm and comfy. Comfy is a very colloquial word for comfortable, okay? Comfy. The villas were not, cold. Outside was cold, right? So, yeah, the Romans didn't need to wear lots of pairs of socks in their villas. They needed them when they were outside. Okay. So this is how you have to talk. कुछ भी नियम कानून नहीं है दोस्तों. You have to just have a conversation. Something is being said, either it is true or it is false. If it is true, agree with it. And if you have some details, add those. And if it is not true, disagree with it. Okay? Challenge it and correct it with the information you have. So this should be the task when I put you guys in the breakout room. Roman aqueducts in the cities were better than the old British ones. Now, this question I want people to respond to. I'm not going to respond. देखो खुशी बेटा, इसमें बहुत जबरदस्त होने वाली बात है यहाँ पर. आप अगर नहीं जवाब दे पाए इसका, ठीक है? I know you have a stomach ache, but I'm just saying, इसका जवाब मुझे चाहिए. क्यों चाहिए? Because एक चीज होती है इंग्लिश की समझ, एक होती है एनालिटिकल एबिलिटी. एनालाइज कैसा किया आपने बात को, बात का मतलब क्या निकाला, इंटरप्रिटेशन कैसा किया आपने. तो I would like everybody to respond. Roman aqueducts, except Rukaiya. Rukaiya doesn't need to answer.
No.
Other people will answer. Okay. Roman aqueducts in the cities were better than the old British ones. People.
Yes, it is true.
Misunderstanding.
No, it's not.
Misunderstanding. अब फंस गया, ये क्या हुआ? अब बोलो भाई, आरिश, continue.
Yes, Roman aqueducts in the cities were not better than the old British one because in Britain, Roman took it from their home country.
What do you mean? Say
Because
it in
it was not in England, sir.
Very good, very good. You're not saying it right, but you got it right, okay? You understood it correctly. You're not expressing it correctly, okay? But you got it right. Got it, Smita, got it. Okay. Everyone, remember, those who read the text, okay? I don't like silence. Simran, Manisha, please answer. And Vikas, Sunita, come on, everybody. This is a good sentence, good question to answer. What does it say? Dekho. Roman aqueducts brought fresh water into towns and cities. This was completely new in Britain. How did you misunderstand that? Aisha Beta, how did you misunderstand this part? Roman aqueducts brought fresh water into towns and cities. This was completely new in Britain. Now, the statement here says, the Roman aqueducts in the cities were better than the old British ones. Now, I shall give you the second chance to correct your response. The reality of the matter is, go ahead, beta, talk like this. Sir, no, sir, this statement is not true because, unmute yourself, beta.
Yes.
Why is it not true? Because the Roman aqueducts were completely new in Britain. There were no aqueducts, right? The idea of aqueducts didn't exist in Britain. So there is no question of comparison. So Roman aqueducts in the cities were not better or worse because they were unique, they were new. The Britain didn't have aqueducts. Okay? Britain didn't have aqueducts. The Romans brought them to Britain. The Romans brought them to Britain. So there is no question of comparison. Do you understand now? That line, beta, that line says it very clearly. Everybody, this was completely new in Britain. This was completely new in Britain. Next. The British used their own recipes to make food for the Romans.
False, because they use Roman dishes and the recipes.
Not dishes, foods. Dishes and foods are different.
Please.
Dish
Sorry.
is something that is ready, right? Kheer is a dish. Kheer is a dish. But rice, milk, they are the ingredients which are also foods, okay? Fine. So they used Roman foods and recipes that they brought with them. New foods and recipes that they brought with them, okay? The Romans. So British people used them to, of course, Dekho. The British was using new foods and recipes the Romans brought with them. Okay, it was using is not a good tense here. They used, the British used, okay? Was using is not good tense. Used. Was using होता है जब किसी मोमेंट पे कोई चीज कंटिन्यू हो तो बेहतर है बोलना कि उन्होंने नहीं वो उन्होंने ये यूज किया था. देखो यहाँ द ब्रिटिश यूज्ड क्या लिखा है? द ब्रिटिश यूज्ड तो was using क्यों किया? No need. The British didn't use their own recipes. They used the recipes the Romans brought with them to make food for the Romans. We have added, मैं बता रहा हूँ ये एक्सरसाइज अधूरा है. आप लोगों ने इस पेज का सत्यानाश करा है, honestly speaking. You have not made good use of this exercise, okay, and this page, guys. We have added an extra day to the Roman year. We have added an extra day to the Roman year. Is that true? We have added an extra day to the Roman year?
True.
Yes, 365 days there are, and then we add one day every
Calendar.
year. So we have not added an extra day. Like, I don't know why, what do you mean? I don't know who. Okay, guys, this is a little confusing now. We have continued to use the Roman year. Okay, with 365 days and a leap year every 4 years. Okay, so maybe we did it. I don't know. Recently we started doing this. Maybe, yep, we can say that. To the Roman year. Now to the leap year. Okay, guys, the Roman year is still 365 days. We have not added an extra day to the Roman year. We add an extra day to the leap year. Every 4 years we add one day. We don't add one day to the Roman year every year, right? So it is not true from that perspective, okay? We have added an extra day, but not to the Roman year. We have added that extra day only to the leap year, okay? Now, exercise 5, everybody will join, I know, because in this exercise, देखो होता क्या है, कुछ exercises थोड़े challenging होते हैं, उसमें थोड़ा extra time लगता है, energy लगती है, आप भाग जाते हो उससे, तो जाहिर सी बात है वो exercises से भागोगे जिसमें ज्यादा मेहनत लग रहा है, तो आप सीखोगे कम ना. Please don't do that, okay? Bring the fighter's attitude, okay? To capture.
To catch and take prisoner.
Catch and take
Prisoner.
prisoner. To capture means to catch and take prisoner. All right, रुको. According to the Greeks, आगे तुम लोग बोलोगे. According to the Greeks, अलेक्जेंडर ने पोरस को पकड़ लिया, prisoner बना लिया, और उससे पूछा, बोल तेरे साथ क्या सलूक किया जाए, मार दिया जाए कि छोड़ दिया जाए. All right, go ahead, guys. चलो बोलो. According to the Greek historians, Alexander, आगे बोलो.
Captured.
कौन सा वर्ड यूज कर रहे हो?
Captured.
चलो ठीक है, अब कैप्चर छोड़ दो और ये इसका डेफिनेशन यूज करो. बहुत अच्छे.
Alexander catch and take prisoner.
just a second, just a second. Hold on. According to the Greek historians, Alexander captured Porus, okay, and asked him, "What should I do with you? How should I treat you?" Okay, according to the Greek, historians, Alexander captured Porus. Acha, captured hatao. Use the definition. Come on, Aisha. What did you say, beta? What did you say? Yeah, use the definition. According to the Greek historians, Alexander
Catch porous.
नहीं बोल सकते ना आयशा बेटा, कैसे बोल सकते कैच? Alexander caught V2.
Caught.
Alexander
Caught.
caught Porus. आगे बोलना बेटा, आगे बोलिए, आगे आयशा कंटिन्यू
सर हम सुने नहीं आप क्या बोले.
एंड कंटिन्यू बेटा. आपको बस वही लाइन बोलना है जो मैंने अभी हिंदी में बोली, उसको इंग्लिश में बोलना है, लेकिन कैप्चर के जगह डेफिनेशन यूज करना है. हमें इंग्लिश यूज करना है दोस्तों, हर एक सेंटेंस फ्रेज को यूज करने की कोशिश करनी है. आपको ये नेचुरल, पहले ये बात क्लियर हो जानी चाहिए कि सीखना मतलब क्या, हर एक वर्ड और फ्रेज जो हमारे सामने है उसको कोई ना कोई बहाने से अपना सेंटेंस बना लेना. चलो बताओ कैसे बोलेंगे. अलेक्जेंडर ने पोरस को पकड़ लिया, है ना, जो यहाँ लिखा है यूज करिए. कैसे एक्सप्रेस करेंगे इस आइडिया को इंग्लिश में? जल्दी कोई भी कर ले. कम ऑन, इफ नॉट आयशा, एनीबॉडी.
Caught
According
and took prison.
Yeah.
according
Okay.
to
Alexander caught
historians,
Porus and took prisoner and said, "What should I do
Very well done, Yasmin, ma'am.
with you?"
Super. Yeah, exactly. Okay. You know, Alexander caught Porus and took him prisoner. Okay. And asked, "What should I do with you? How should I
Yeah.
treat you?" He said, "Just the way a king treats another king." All right, this is what they say. He said, okay. And then Alexander felt very, very glad, and he had a tremendous respect for Porus because despite his small army, he fought very bravely. And he said, okay, you will be my representative here and you will rule this, state on my behalf. Okay. Some people in India, they say, no, he didn't. He didn't defeat, Porus. Porus defeated Alexander. His horse was killed, and nonsense. But again, I am not going to discuss this. Let's move on. To execute. To execute. To execute
To
means
kill a
kill
prisoner.
a prisoner.
to execute means to kill a prisoner. To execute,
Kill a
okay?
prisoner.
To kill somebody.
To kill a prisoner, okay? To execute, okay? To announce. Can you give a sentence?
To say something
He
publicly.
announced his marriage.
They have decided to execute all the war prisoners. They have decided to execute all the war prisoners. Okay. They have decided to execute all the war prisoners. देखो मेहनत तो करना पड़ेगा दोस्तों. You have to try. You can't really give up, okay?
The government decide
Execute.
The government decided to kill a prisoner.
Okay, okay. अभी मैंने नहीं कहा ये use करने के लिए. There is a reason. I didn't
Oh,
ask you to
yeah.
use this phrase, okay?
the government has decided to execute the terrorist.
Okay, all right. Okay. To announce.
To say something publicly.
Publicly.
To say something publicly.
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 Publicly. Okay.
Yes, sir,
To
publicly.
say something publicly. Okay.
Due to heavy injury, he had to announce his retirement.
Yes. To avoid.
To find a way not to do
To
something.
find a way not to do something.
Don't avoid. Don't avoid me. Okay. I try to avoid people who make me feel very, very, what should I say? Uncomfortable. Yeah, I try to avoid them. Okay. Avoid drinking wine. Okay. Okay. To
Sir,
avoid means, to avoid means
to avoid means
find a way not to do
to find a way
something.
not to do something.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a sentence. Can I say in this
Some people avoid
way?
doing their homework. Huh?
To avoid,
Mm.
yeah, in after World War II, to avoid the future wars, United Nation were made.
Oh, absolutely correct, Arish. The United Nations were formed to avoid future wars after the Second World War. Absolutely correct. Okay. To avoid embarrassment, to avoid embarrassment, to avoid embarrassment, to avoid embarrassment, मतलब embarrassment से बचने के लिए. To avoid embarrassment, okay. I avoid crowded places. I avoid crowded places. Avoid. Invade.
To enter as an
Attack. Okay.
Wait,
Yeah. To enter as an enemy. Invade.
sir,
Hmm.
today I was watching the BBC World
Hmm.
where they were saying about the Syria that Bashar al-Assad asylum to how to pronounce I don't know actually. Asylum may know what's the actual meaning.
Asylum.
Yes, asylum to Russia. He went to
Uh-huh.
Russia. He has gone
Yes.
to Russia.
So what are you asking?
So asylum is a noun I know, but
Uh-huh.
what's the actual meaning of this? Do we have to use only for the politician or can we use for the normal person too?
Okay. 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 I think the word asylum was used, wasn't in the Razai, Mr. Muhammad Razai text. I don't know. People seeking
Yes,
asylum.
it was used in asylum, sir. But today I saw a new use of asylum for VIP peoples like Syrian president.
भाई
This
साहब,
word was
आपने
this.
जबरदस्ती उसको नया बनाया तो मैं क्या करूं? एग्जैक्टली वही मीनिंग है सर। मेरा ग्रीन वाला अलग है, आपका ग्रीन अलग है, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है। मेरा लाल अलग है, आपका लाल अलग है, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है। Look, Muhammad Razai was unsafe. He was not safe in his country, right? So he did. His mom said, "Beta, leave the country." Okay, and he got onto a plane, and he was talking about asylum seekers, people who leave their countries and want to live in another country because there is a threat to their lives. Okay. So people who run away from their country because there is a threat to their lives, they are asylum seekers. Okay. Like what was the name of that lady? Taslima Nasreen, from Bangladesh. And right now, who is seeking asylum here in India? The
The
Prime
ex-prime
Minister.
minister,
Which Begum?
uh,
Hasina. Sheikh
Sheikh
Hasina.
Hasina, Mrs. Sheikh Hasina.
मिसेज क्या बात कर रहा है यार? मिस्टर शेख हसीना नहीं है वो मिसेस शेख हसीना है। एनीवेज, so what a name, na? Hasina. There was a movie Daku Hasina. Okay. All right. So Sheikh Hasina is an asylum seeker. I don't know if Indian government have offered them asylum yet or not. Okay. Okay. Indian government has offered her asylum or not. Asylum means to, in Hindi, what is the word we use? Asylum seeker. So seek asylum, means you want to live in another country because there is a threat to your country. That's it. So why is it another use, बेटा? क्या समझ लिया था तुमने वहां पे? ऐसे ही झगड़े से झमेले से होके गुजरते हैं। वोकैबुलरी बिल्डिंग ऐसे आसान नहीं होती। एक वर्ड के बदले एक वर्ड याद कर ले। ओके। So there is
Okay,
no
sir.
connect, no difference. Asylum. A mental asylum. A Mental asylum is a place where people who are mentally challenged, those who can't live in society because they are not normal, so they go to live in those places. Mental asylum. In the movie Tere Naam, Salman Khan ends up in the mental asylum. Okay. Political asylum. Looking for political asylum. Agar koi bole political asylum. So that person wants to live in another country because of political reasons they have threat to their lives. Okay. So political asylum they seek. Okay. Let's see. Move on to the word invade. Okay, invade, to enter as an enemy, invaded, invade. And the adjective is invasive. The adjective is invasive. Okay, invasive. Adjective. Taxes. Money you pay to the government, that is tax. Okay, money you pay to the government is tax. Guys, this is how you learn vocabulary. This is the right way to learn vocabulary. If you start learning this way, then someday you will be able to use the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary or Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary. Otherwise, there are lots of people who have spent years studying English, and even if I give them a dictionary, they will not understand the meaning of a word, because that will be Advanced Learners Dictionary. English word will be described in English with the help of example sentences. They are more comfortable learning the translation of the word into Hindi, the mother tongue. So this is the right way to learn vocabulary if you want to learn. A reminder, something that makes you
Something that
remember.
makes you remember.
A reminder is something that makes you remember.
Make you remember.
Okay. You guys set reminders. Nowadays you have mobile phones, so not a problem. You guys set reminders, okay? You set reminders to do things, and that there will be a bell, there will be a ring that will remind you, that will make you remember that it is time time to do this, time to do that. Okay, a reminder. Sometimes I send a reminder in the group for the students to pay their due, right? Sometimes I send a reminder, okay, a message. I leave a message. To rule.
Control a
To
country.
control a country.
Rule. Yeah. Minced.
Cut into very small pieces.
Cut into very small
Cut
pieces.
into very small pieces.
Okay, very small pieces. Minced. Sewage.
What comes out of toilet?
What comes out of toilets?
Toilet.
Sewage. Okay. Sewage. Want to learn this word a little better? The pronunciation. How am I pronouncing it? Exactly. Take a look here. Sewage. Okay. Okay. Take a look, everybody. Sewage. A lot of people around you will pronounce it sewage. Okay. It is not sewage. Okay. It is sewage.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we call it sewage.
Yep. Let's read. Waste matter, such as water, human urine, solid waste, all these things. Yes, Aisha, your internet is very unstable today. Some cities in the world do not have proper facilities for the disposal of sewage. Disposal of sewage. Disposal, to get rid of, disposal. The act of getting rid of something, the act of getting freedom from something, that is called disposal. Okay. Okay. Raw sewage, untreated sewage is being pumped into the sea from where it pollutes our beaches. My goodness. Okay. Sewage. Waste liquid from toilets. The storm caused raw sewage to flow into the bay. Oh, goodness. Okay. Raw sewage, untreated sewage. Now Bihar Sharif is becoming a smart city. What they're going to do, all the water that you throw in the toilet, okay, every day, not thousands, hundreds of liters water we throw in the sewage in our toilets. What happens? That water goes through the drain. and is wasted. But now they're going to collect it. They have put those pipes in the middle of the roads, especially for this purpose. And they will treat this water. And the same water will be available to you for drinking. Now, a lot of people are very uncomfortable with this idea. In my neighborhood, aunties have been talking about it, and they have such grossed out expressions on their face, grossed out, like, yeah, what nonsense. But that water, when it comes, they won't know. They won't know whether it is that water or fresh water. They won't know. So are they going to stop drinking the supply water? No. And when the supply water comes, it will feel like the water that we have today because it will be treated. On ISS, International Space Station, they do the same thing. They urinate and they use the toilet there as well, and
Yes,
they
water treatment.
they do the water treatment to that thing, and they drink that same water. Well, they can't afford to send water
Yeah,
every.
there are more chemical in the water, and the water is clean.
So, Imrana, how do you feel about drinking that treated water?
That's okay.
Is there a part of your brain that says, "Oh my God"? Do you gross out thinking about it? That Yasmin, ma'am, how do you feel about it?
No, I
My
accepted, sir.
my mom, my aunties in the neighborhood, they're all grossed out at this idea. They're not very excited about it at all, and I love talking about it in front of them. Okay, switch. So vocabulary, you learned some words. Again, guys, please don't waste such a great, exercise. Read again, do the exercises on your own. And I'm going to open the breakout rooms maybe tomorrow. Today, I'm not going to do it because I don't want you to, again, waste 10 more minutes of yours. First of all, please read. These are small texts, okay? Look how many? 3 and 3, 6 and 1, 7. 7 small texts here, right? 4 lines, 5 lines. That's all. And after reading them, you have to, you have to,
I
you know,
haven't read this book. Okay.
lucky you are here already, right? Lucky. Yeah, everybody, please read and do
So
So,
we have one more discussion. What do you think, session?
Yeah, where is it?
In page number 65.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why don't we learn from the mistakes of history? What could we do to help us stop repeating history's problems? What periods of history would you like to see repeated? I'm gonna keep quiet. I'm gonna pass the buck. You know, I'm gonna, simply, I'm not gonna, talk about these things. I'm going to open the rooms, breakout rooms for your discussion. You guys can go ahead and have a little chit chat.
Will only listen.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, are we ready to talk? Yep. I guess we can open the rooms now.
sir, we haven't read this lesson properly.
But these questions are different. Why don't we learn from the mistakes of history? You guys can just share your opinions. Okay, it's not about information on this page. It's about your opinion. We don't learn from the mistakes of history. Okay, this is a fact. Why don't we learn from the mistakes of history? What could we do to help us stop repeating history's problems? What could we do? What is there that we can do to help us stop repeating history's problems? We repeat history's problems too, huh? Okay. What periods of history would you like to see repeated? I will keep the room open for 10 minutes or maybe 9 minutes, 8 minutes. And in those 8, 9 minutes, I want you guys to have a little chit chat. Okay, some nice conversation. And if I'm not there, I don't think there will be any problems. I'm not going to visit your rooms. You guys can feel free and talk whatever you want to talk about. Okay, I'm opening the rooms. Go ahead, guys. Join the rooms. You come here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. These three questions, these three topics. Everyone, quickly, quickly, quickly. Great. Yasmin, ma'am, accept the invitation. Lucky and Kushi, accept the invitation, please. Lucky and Kushi. Happy go lucky. Happy means Kushi.
Sir, I don't want to speak right now. That's
It's
what.
okay. It's okay. Just go there. Just be there. Just be there. I understand. I understand. I'm not asking it. Just be there. Okay. Just
Okay.
join. Yep. Yep.
So China.
Hence, that's why we cannot.
Okay, people. I'm gonna share a video with you. I would like you guys to watch that video on your own. Okay. Watch a video and learn more about the impact the Romans had on life in Britain. So, how the Romans impacted the life in Britain. You can learn more about it from that video. All these things happened 2,000 years ago, guys, right? More than 2,000 years ago. And then we have this year, listening and speaking family history. Is researching your family history popular in your country? Guys, is researching your family history popular in your country? Is researching your family history popular in your country? Answer the question, people.
Yes, it is.
Or tell
Yes,
me
very
more.
much.
Tell me more.
It's very famous in India, sir.
Huh? Tell me how.
For marriage purpose, people. Huh?
For marriage purpose. That's a good point. People try to find out a little bit about your ancestors, your forefathers, so that they can be sure that you actually belong to a particular caste. Okay.
And if the family has any criminal cases, any what should I say, courage, or the property is exactly in his name or not? Is there any fraud? Everything. How many daughters they have, where they are married, how many brothers they have, how where they
This is
are
not family
married.
history. Simran, it's not family history, by the way. The
How
word history,
come they are not back?
yeah. Researching
So
family history is a personal thing. Some people like finding out about their forefathers, their ancestors. They want to know. I'm very curious about it, of course. And if I could, I would like to know where this whole thing started, where we came from. But again, I know it's not possible. I wish I had talked to my grandfather a little more when I was young about our family history. My grandfather could have at
sir,
least
can
told.
I leave now?
Yes, Simran, you can. My grandfather
Yeah,
would have told
good
me at least
night.
about 2 or 3 generations, back. I know up from my father about my great grandfather Nathun Ram, the wrestler, the famous wrestler in Sheikhpura. But behind, before him, who was my ancestor, I have no idea, no information. My grandfather could have told me, but I never asked him. I was very young. So How far back you can go in your family history, guys? How many generations? Let's see. Go ahead, tell me. How many generations can you go backwards?
I can go until my great grandfathers.
Tell us just quickly.
I have some. My mother always says about his grandfather, but to be honest, I didn't see him. But he, the way she talks about him, I have lots of. I can imagine how was he.
What did he do? Where was he? Come on, tell us.
He was a Mukhiya, sir, Gram Panchayat,
Mm-hmm.
and
Where?
he was everybody respected him along every village,
Mm,
which was near to our village, and like
mm,
in Hindi we say he was like a dabang type person in
the bank.
his. Yes,
Okay.
but
3 generations down the line, the banga is gone. You are not the bang.
no, I'm not, but
Just
he
kidding.
used to be.
I know it was a very proud thing, actually, back
And
then.
he had lots of land, you know.
Mm, mm,
He was the British time person.
of course. Right. Interesting, Arish. So you know about your great grandfather from your mother's side, maternal great grandfather. Do you
Yes,
have
sir. From
information about your father's great grandfather as well?
no, sir, because uh, I don't know much about them. But I know about my grandfather from father's father. I
Right.
I saw I saw him. Just he
Mm,
passed away in 2015.
right. Mm, okay. Anybody else knows their family history a little more deeply than others here? Saurav? No? Kushi?
I just know about my grandparents and their father.
Hmm. Is your grandfather still alive?
Yes.
Then you have a chance to sit down with him and talk to him about his grandfather, at least, if not more. He would
I
definitely know.
asked, but I forget now.
Okay. I'm forgetting the name right now, like this, I'm forgetting. Okay. I am forgetting
Yeah.
right now. The name is slipping. Okay. Right. Escaping me. The name is escaping me. मतलब अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है. Okay.
Sir,
Yasmin
you
ma'am
said your great grandfather was the
was a
wrestler in
wrestler.
Sekpura.
He was a
Am I
wrestler.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
His name is written in the Sekpura Junction, you know.
Is it?
Sir, what
Is
is
it?
the called
Yes,
great
Nathuram something. I
grandfather's
saw the
father?
name.
What?
If you will go there, yes, sir.
See. One day, first of all, when
I have seen the name.
my father used to say
Nathuram
this to
Godse.
me. चुप रहेगा मारेंगे तड़ाक से. Okay.
Not Nathuram Godse, Nathuram something.
Natuna, okay,
It's written
not
in the
Natuna.
entrance of the Sekpura Junction, sir.
Okay, okay. You see, my father used to tell me stories of his grandfather. He was very fond of his grandfather. So he loved telling us stories about him. He was tall and big, and the whole, Sheikhpura knew him and this and that. I used to think that, he's trying to impress us a little bit. I didn't take him seriously until one day I was just talking about my great grandfather Nathun Ram in my class, and a girl came next day and said, Sir, I talked to my grandma. I mentioned what you were saying, and then my grandma told me that he was a big wrestler, and she had heard his name when she was a kid. Okay, her grandma was a kid when she had heard the name. Okay, so my father was absolutely right, and now here I know that my great grandfather's name is mentioned on the railway station junction somewhere,
It
in
is
Yeah,
written
that's
in the
nice, sir.
entrance of the gate.
at the entrance of
Like
the gate.
हिंदी में लिखा हुआ है पहलवान नथुराम करके कुछ.
Helwan Nathun Ram. There you go.
Oh,
And
yes, sir.
and let me tell you something. We
Sir,
have
have you
some.
ever been in Sekpura Junction?
I've never been there. I I
Go
I
there and you'll see.
I'm going to. I'm going to, man. I am going to. I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to share it in all my family groups, WhatsApp groups. I'm gonna show them all look, this is what was there, but we were never told. I mean, I don't know why. Recently, we have discovered that we have some land, you know, against my great grandfather's name, Natunam. Some land is still there, but nobody can claim it because he has so many great grandchildren. We alone cannot claim it, you know. I think 3 or 4 kattas land on the roadside. So nice, acha hai. Hmm.
So what is
Anybody?
called a grandfather's father?
My grandfather's father, great grandfather,
हाँ, grandfather's father को क्या कहते हैं?
grandfather, na, grandfather's father, na, great
Yes,
grand,
yes,
great grandfather.
great
एंड एक
grandfathers.
बार और उनके भी पिताजी तो ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर, फिर एक बार तो ग्रेट 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 ग्रैंडफादर. बस ये ग्रेटनेस विल कीप ग्रोइंग, यू नो.
Yeah, I know about my great grandfathers. My grandmother uh, told us about him. So he had a lot of properties, I think.
We all
And
come from Rais family, guys. It's okay,
no,
we are
no,
not very rich today.
no, I am from poor families.
No, 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 no way. You can't say
Yes,
that anymore.
ये तो कहानी तो सुनिए. So he had a lot of properties, but he had involved in a case. He had a competitor or enemy, you can say anything, and he lost of a lot of properties in cases. His his case lasted 22 years.
Okay, okay. Hmm.
And at last he lost his case also, defeated also. And
Oh,
he lost his all of properties, I think.
that's really sad. I remember
Kind
one
of
thing
poor
about, yeah,
family,
go,
sir.
go on. So I was just saying, you know, what happens when you belong to such family, and if you remember your family history, then you feel a little inflated sense of pride. You know, you have. My father had that. You know, he used to get angry and fight very easily. You know, he would not listen to anybody. My father, when he was young, nobody could just, you know, take him lightly. He was that kind of man. And
Yes, sir. Well, I am from a middle class family, you can say. One of my brother is a GM in Indian Oil Corporation.
educated family.
No, sir, not educated family. My father is not educated.
Hmm.
A little bit educated. He is a businessman. One of my brother is also doing business. He's big and sad. Business is growing very good.
Okay. Other
Mm.
people, would you like to talk a little bit about it? Your grandparents, great grandparents? You can write your story if you know. And I am going to share with you an audio file.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to share with you an audio file. What will you do?
The video.
Oh, I have to share a video as well, right? Okay. So I'm gonna share that video only. The audio we will listen here in the class. Okay, so I'm gonna share a video. Watch that video, and I don't know whether tomorrow's class is possible or not. If I get home early enough, then maybe we will study. And if I change my mind, if I go to the cinema tomorrow, then we will not have this class because it's my anniversary tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, sir, in
What film are you
advance, happy
watching tomorrow, sir?
anniversary.
Say that to my wife. Say that to my wife. मुझे बोलो कि कोई बात नहीं, गलती हो जाती है. You know, show me sympathy.
Sir, how many years it has been?
16. It is gonna be
How
this.
many have you been married, sir?
Yep. 16.
Oh, that's great.
I'm getting used to it slowly.
Yes, tomorrow
2007.
you spend time with your wife. So tomorrow class is of course off.
What is
Yeah.
your plan, sir?
Yeah. Yes, Yasmin ma'am.
What is your plan for
My
Tomorrow,
tomorrow?
take
plan.
a leave, sir. You can take a
Do you
leave.
want to know the real plan?
Yes, sir.
But I don't know if I can execute
Yes.
that plan. My plan is to take her to Rajgir on a very tall mountain and push her. Okay. But I don't know. Maybe the last part will not be executed. I will.
I've
Rajgir is a
never
boring
been to
idea.
But your
Rajgir.
heart didn't agree, sir.
It is there.
Come
We are
again.
having.
Sir, you don't need to go Rajgir. You can go Pahadi par.
Ravi, when you do something like that, you don't want to take a chance. The higher the mountain, more likely it is that you get the result you want. Okay, so that's why.
Sometimes you're so funny.
But I think,
So what is there in Rajgir to
where in that
visit?
I will go to all the places wherever I can. The whole day is mine. I'm gonna leave maybe early morning 7:30, and I'm gonna be out all day with her.
Actually,
Sir,
sir,
go
I've
and
never been to Rajgir.
You have never been to Rajgir?
it's so
Yes, sir.
famous
Ah, okay. So
worldwide.
it's really nice. It's like a
But
backyard for us.
I will plan to visit there.
Sure. When you visit, don't forget to visit us here. Okay, would love to welcome
Yeah,
you.
I've been to Patna many
Sir,
times, but I never been to
you can visit.
Rajgir.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you try to visit Patna Zoo and something?
भाई साहब वहां रख लेगा पकड़ के मेरे को वापस नहीं आने देगा बहुत दिन से भागे हुए वहां से that's the problem. No, can't take that chance.
Every year.
Sir,
It's fun. Rajgir is fun.
whenever
Rajgir
I
is
go
more
to
fun.
Patna, I will meet you.
Sure,
Surely.
Yasmin ma'am. We would love to meet you, of course. Okay.
I went to Patna, I think 2 years ago.
Ah, I see.
Actually, my maternal uncle's house,
Mm-hmm.
because my parents came there.
Mm-hmm.
My maternal uncle retired this year, this January actually. She retired from DGM, from irrigation department.
Saurabh is writing that I'm being stupid. I made my plan public, talking about it. Okay. Not a
You
big
should have planned
Sir,
something
you
big.
invite us.
something
We are
big.
going together in Rajgir, sir.
Sorry, Imrana.
First trip. Sir, we are going together in Rajgir.
You are going too.
You should have to
We
plan
are, sir.
something big.
You invite us, sir.
My anniversary is for me and my wife. I don't
Sir, day
even take
after
my daughter
tomorrow.
with me. I don't even take my daughter with me. Yasmin ma'am. One day with me and my wife. Only one day. Okay. The rest of the days for everybody else.
Best of luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
sir, I'll give you a chance. Tomorrow you enjoy together.
अगर
But
मेरी
day after
शादी
You
tomorrow,
must
नहीं
watch
रहती तो हम और श्वेता मम्मी का फॉलो
tomorrow, sir.
करके राजगीर चले जाते.
तो बिहार वाले राजगीर बहुत जाते हैं, मैं तो कभी गई नहीं हूँ.
It's like a backyard, I said, we visit like 3-4 times a year at least. Maybe more. Yeah. Okay, it was lovely talking to you all, and we are gonna continue the day after tomorrow, hopefully. Please watch the video I send. Okay, we'll talk about it when we meet the day after tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.
Happy
bye, sir.
anniversary, sir. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye. Bye.